It looks like any other Fiat 500, but this brand new model is actually quite radical. Costing from 10.5 grand, it's called the TwinAir, and it's only got half an engine. While every other Fiat 500, and in fact the vast majority of Super Minis in general, come with 4-cylinder engines, this is the only one with a 2-cylinder engine. Its total capacity is just 875cc. Let me put that into perspective. These two beer cans have a total capacity of 880cc. So this car's total propulsive force comes from 2 pistons moving in 2 cylinders that are smaller than these. Crikey. Its piddly size helps make the TwinAir the cleanest petrol engine of any mainstream manufacturer in the world. It emits 95 grams of CO2 per kilometre, and according to the European form fillers that decide such things, it does 68 miles per gallon. Happily, the amazing eco figures haven't made it incredibly slow. Despite only having 2 cylinders, it is faster and more powerful than the standard 1.2 litre 4-cylinder version. It's got 85 brake horsepower, does 0 to 60 in about 11 seconds, and that actually makes it almost as fast as the bigger 1.4. And the TwinAir has an added ingredient the standard engines miss out on: character. I know it's quite a subjective thing, so I'll try not to dwell on it, but I absolutely love the way it sounds. It's like a mixture between a pizza delivery bike, a 3-cylinder Toyota Aygo, a Citroen 2CV, and a little bit of Fiat 126. And as well as the really cool noise, the engine is also incredibly flexible, and more surprisingly, it's quite refined. It pulls from any revs you like, you get no hint of turbo lag, there aren't any gaps in the power delivery. It's incredible. So the TwinAir seems to have totally nailed the having cake, eating cake relationship between economy and power. But there's something bugging me. I've been driving around in this car for a couple of days now, admittedly in the snow in stop-start traffic, which isn't great for fuel economy. It says I've only averaged 31.9 miles per gallon, which is less than half of the claimed figure. So to find out how economical it actually is, I'm going to do a quick test. I'll bring the tank, reset the trip, and drive around a mixed route for a few hours. When I fill it up again, I'll be able to work out how many miles per gallon it's managed. The car's eco mode should improve fuel economy by limiting the engine's torque. If I was an EU scientist working out the fuel consumption for an individual car, this is what I would call the urban routes. Handily, with the 500 TwinAir, it's got stop-start. So when you stop moving, the engine stops and you don't use any petrol. Apparently, the TwinAir's 2-cylinder engine is 12 kilograms lighter than the standard 1.2 litre 4-cylinder engine in most Fiat 500s. I can't tell the difference. It is quite nimble, it is quite agile, but the steering's a bit numb and it is a bit bobbly over the bumps. Okay, I'm now out on a dual carriageway, and I was a little bit worried how eco mode in a car with half an engine would cope in such a situation. To be honest, it's absolutely fine. It's still got 70% of the engine's torque. That's all it needs. The throttle's a little bit softer. It's probably not quite as eager to overtake, but if the car drove like this normally, I wouldn't complain that it was too slow. The pleasant eco mode driving continues on the B roads too, but how will it cope on the motorway? And now I face the challenge of pulling out in front of a lorry. Easy. 4th gear, 50 miles an hour, it slugs itself up to 60 and you don't even hear it. It's incredible. Now, I've been in here for a couple of hours, it's getting dark, and I have to say that I really like the TwinAir. I was worried that the Fiat with half an engine would be half as good as every other Fiat 500, but actually it's better. It drives just as well, steering, handling, ride-wise, but it makes a better noise. And it's faster than a 1.2, and it's got more character than a 1.2 or a 1.4. To me, this feels like a light version of a 500 above. After 50 miles of mixed driving, I think I've given the TwinAir a fair test. So it's time to refill and do the sums. I have done 50.6 miles. 50.6 divided by 1.11 equals 45.58 miles per gallon. That is a long way off the claimed 68 miles per gallon, but even more worryingly, it's no better than the 50 to the gallon that's easily doable in the 1.2 litre 500 that also costs over £1,000 less. So, where does that leave the TwinAir? If you just want to use the least possible petrol for the cheapest possible price, then this isn't worth paying extra for over the 1.2. But if you want the best compromise between power and economy, as well as the lowest possible CO2 figures and a really funny noise, then this, the one with half an engine, is the best Fiat 500 on sale.